Hey there, it's Michael here, and behind me I have a masterclass in time management. So if you want to get more shit done, this is the video for you. So what I'm gonna be doing in this video is I'm gonna be talking about the different kinds of time. Yes, there are different types. Time is more than just the tickety-tockety on the clockety. And so I'm gonna explain what each of these mean. And behind me I got the secret fourth type of time that I'm gonna reveal near the end of the video. So make sure to give the video a quick like and watch until the end. So at first you have your uptime. And over here, that is your uptime girl. She's been living in our uptown world. But in all seriousness, there's your uptime, there's your downtime, and there's your renewal time. And then there's actually another kind, time that is simply wasted. So for now, let me go and quickly erase this thing here because it's like a terrible drawing and probably kind of distracting. And then let's dive right into the topic. So let me first explain what each of these types of time represent. And then I'm going to share with you tips on how to optimize each of them in order to increase your productivity so that you can get shit done, so that you can reach your goals. Sound good? Let's start with the uptime. This is the time you spend on your most productive activities. It's literally that simple. Downtime is time that you basically have to spend, but like it's necessary, but it's not that productive really. Or these are your supporting activities. Renewal time is simple. You cannot go at something for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You cannot. You need sleep, you need other types of rest, and you need to take care of yourself. And the activities that fall into that category is what I call your renewal time. And then you know those times when you're on your phone and suddenly 1 hour has passed and you've done nothing but scroll through entertaining cat videos? Yeah, that's this category. Time that is just plainly wasted. And by the way, in some cases, scrolling through your phone, watching some entertainment or playing some video games, that can actually be this renewal time here. Sometimes when I've been working at my job for like 9 hours and I come back home, I go to the gym, I have dinner and I'm exhausted. Maybe watching half an hour of a show, that actually is what I need to recharge in order to then spend another 3-4 hours working on my content business, right? And so it's not necessarily that every activity needs to be work. That is simply not the case. Sometimes you need to build in these moments of relaxation in order to really recharge physically, mentally, spiritually, and energetically. So let's start with your uptime and how to optimize it to become more productive. And for this, I'm gonna give you 2 tips that will skyrocket your efficiency. And note the word efficiency. I'm not using the word productivity because in my book, in my dictionary of Michael, these are different things. So what I define productivity as is how good you are at getting a certain task done. Think of it like driving a car. Your productivity is how fast you are driving. And then efficiency is how productive that task you're doing is at getting you towards your goals. So imagine you're going down the highway. You're going 100 miles an hour. Let's say that's allowed, right? You're going that 100 miles an hour, but then your destination is over there. Like, you're not gonna get there, no matter how fast you drive. And so if the tasks you are doing are not the right ones, you're not getting to your goals in an efficient and timely manner. And so with your uptime, first of all, get clear, crystal clear on what you want to achieve. And the rule for this is you should be able to explain it to a 5 to 7-year-old and have them understand exactly, keyword exactly, what you want to get out of life or what your goal is. And the reason I'm saying a 5 to 7-year-old It's because that's the level of thinking capacity that your subconscious mind has. And in order to get the most out of yourself, you need to have your conscious and your subconscious working in alignment. For example, if you say, I want to be richer, that's way too vague. If I hand you $1 right now, you are richer. Congratulations, right? But that's probably not what you mean. So in that example, figure out how much money you want to make, how much you want in your bank account, how many investments you want. Get crystal clear on that. If you say, I want to get in better shape, what does that look like to you? Do you have a six-pack? What's your ideal weight? How much stamina do you have? Like, how far can you run without being out of breath, right? Define these kinds of things. Get hyper-specific. And then step number 2 to optimize this is to then figure out, okay, my goal is over here. I am over here. Which are the most important steps that will get me there, right? For example, you can work on a website and you can tinker for 2 hours to change a few colors around, or you can spend the same 2 hours producing more content, running more ads on social media, reaching out to more people, right? That second activity is gonna move the needle way more in making the business profitable. And so spend your time on the things that give you the highest ROI. And that doesn't necessarily mean money, right? You can have 10 conversations while you're both on your phone with your partner. Or you can have one date night where you don't have any phones and your entire time is spent just one-on-one talking, right? The same time or even less time on that date night is going to build a more meaningful relationship. And so figure out what the highest impact activities for you are. Second tip I have for you to optimize this uptime is to work without distractions. So for example, if you bring your phone to your computer while you do your work, don't. Literally make sure it's in another room. Hand it to some other person to say, hey, give this back to me tonight at midnight or whenever you want to stop working. If you know you have a tendency to go to certain websites, have a blocker that doesn't allow you during certain hours when you want to be productive. Or if the task you're working on doesn't require your internet connection, unplug your computer. Do your work offline. If you have a messy desk and you're constantly fidgeting with this thing or that thing and you're constantly getting distracted, clean that shit up. Have nothing but your keyboard and your screen. Right? Those are some simple things. But look in your own life. How can you simplify your environment and how can you make sure you're taking as little distractions with you as you possibly can? That's the first thing. Second thing when it comes to working without distractions is to have a pen and a piece of paper nearby. Because have you ever had this experience where you're working on something and then you're like, oh my god, I need to pick up my child from school. Or oh my god, like I'm out of butter. I need to go to the supermarket. Or oh my god, I completely forgot to email Terry. I'm sorry, Terry. Right? You have these thoughts come up. And so when you have these thoughts of things you need to do, just write them down. Because otherwise, they will keep disrupting your focus. Because it's not just the 2 seconds that you think about it. You think about it for 2 seconds and then you lost your train of thought. You lost your focus, you lost your concentration. And that takes you minutes to get back into the same flow. And so what you want to do with that is you want to write down these to-do things. Write them out on a list so that your mind doesn't forget. Because now your mind's going to be like, whew, thank God, we're not going to forget this because we have written it down. And now that same thought won't come up over and over and over again while you are working. And during that time, you can now work with less distractions from your own mind. All because of literally jotting something down in 5 seconds. It is a game changer for your efficiency as well as your productivity. So moving on to this second category here, your downtime. And this is what I consider personally the necessary evil. Because it is time that is necessary anyway, but it's not really adding much to your life. An example of this would be if you have a job and you need to travel for an hour one way. That's 2 hours of your day where you're in your car or you're in a train, in a bus, or you're commuting in some way, right? And that's basically time that you're losing. And if you don't do anything about it, it's gonna go in this category, the garbage category. It's basically just wasted time because you're just nodding your head along to the same old songs on the radio, right? However, what if there was a way to use this time, your downtime, like a commute to work, to reinforce this time? And spoiler alert, yes, there is. Because the truth is, your productivity and your efficiency are only going to be as good as your skill level and your knowledge, right? I think it's Abraham Lincoln that said, give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 hours sharpening my axe. So how can you use your time to sharpen your axe? And so it's simple. If you're driving an hour, instead of listening to those same 20 songs on the radio, by now you know them by head anyway. Instead of doing that, listen to a podcast. Get educated in AI. Learn some things to become more confident. Learn new skills, right? Feed your mind ideas that you can then work with in your uptime. A second example of downtime is, for example, cleaning your house. You need to have a clean house. However, cleaning it itself is not something I enjoy, and for most other people, they don't enjoy it either. But it's that necessary evil. Same thing, plug in your earphones and then educate your mind while your hands are busy. My rule of thumb for your downtime is find the moments when your hands are doing something, but your mind is sitting idle. And use that time, optimize it, by tuning into something that is educational. Tune into something that inspires you. Tune in to learning a new skill while you're doing the other thing, right? Your mind can work with a trivial task like mopping the floor and learning something new at the same time. Your mind can do that. The same thing when you're going to the gym. Sure, they have this music going on and it can be very fun, very uplifting. However, when I go to the gym, I have my earphones in and I'm training my body as well as my mind at the same time. And so you are sharpening your axe in this kind of time if you use it well. So that your uptime, the time when you're doing your most productive work, gets more efficient. Third time here is your renewal time. First of all, the obvious one is sleep. Get 8 hours. At the minimum 7. If you go below that, you will be extremely low on productivity. You will be way more irritated throughout your day because your emotional capabilities to handle literally anything go down by about 30 or 40%. Your chances for a heart disease, a heart attack, go up by 30% just when you're sleeping 6 hours compared to 7 or 8. Literally, it's that mind-blowing. And the same thing happens with your productivity. It goes down by about a third as well, just from losing that 1 hour of sleep. Other things when it comes to renewal would be to look up Huberman's technique on non-sleep deep rest. Literally just closing your eyes and laying down for 20 minutes with your eyes closed can just give you energy for the next couple of hours so that you can then work at this stuff way harder. Whatever that is for you, right? So that's another way. And so, for example, like I shared before, watching an anime or watching a cartoon, a movie or a series, one episode, perfectly fine, right? I'm not saying you need to work every hour of your day. Because if you are mentally tired, even though your body is okay, maybe you just need that half an hour of relaxation so that you can then go 10 times as hard the next 4. Or maybe this renewal time needs to be spent just taking a bath or taking a shower when you are physically tired, right? So listen to your body. Listen to what your body is telling you what you need. Because you can go and work. But for most people it's not sustainable, myself included, right? There are times when I just I want to go. Like mentally, I am awake. I want to go. I want to finish this task I'm working on. But then my body's like, no, Michael, no, stop. You've had enough. You need to go to bed. It's 1 a.m. and you need to get up at 8:30. Right? So you only have 7.5 hours. You go to bed right now. Sometimes that's what my body is telling me. Because I'm mentally focused, energized. Because I'm working on something that excites me. But I feel that physically I'm running out. And I have the knowledge that if I continue now, tomorrow will be worse. Right? So don't borrow tomorrow's energy too much. If that means losing out on your quality sleep time over here. And so that's basically how you optimize this time. And now, as I promised you, there's the fourth kind of time that I want to talk about, which is bought time. And yes, you can buy time. So for example, let's say that you want to have a side business, right? Let's say that's your goal, and you work already 8 or 9 hours a day. When you come home from work, you are probably tired. And so this category here of bought time, that can come in the form of ordering your groceries instead of you going to the store. And you might pay a little bit extra, but you're saving yourself half an hour. And you're saving yourself the energy of going outside, of getting in your car, of going to the supermarket, of going through all of the aisles, getting the stuff, and then going back, right? So you pay extra, but what you get back is your time. Or maybe you have the girl next door to walk your dog. Maybe if you want to have a more meaningful relationship with your spouse, you buy time from someone, again, maybe that girl next door, to watch the kids for an evening while you go out, right? Those are ways in which you can very simply get back hours of your day that you would otherwise be spending on the trivial stuff that doesn't add to your life and only drains you physically, mentally, and wastes your time. And if you want to take this a step further, in business, for example, what happens? If you have a job, you are part of this. Your boss is buying your time. Your boss is getting the results from your labor. They pay you your salary in exchange for your time, so that they don't have to do everything themselves. It's how you leverage, it's how you scale up. And the second thing in this category would be efficiency, would be tools, would be software, would be automation. So for example, if you have to write an article for your business, or you want to write an email to someone, instead of sitting behind your computer just typing away, let ChatGPT or another AI tool do some of the heavy lifting, or automate certain things. That is automation. I'm paying to use the software, and that buys me back my time, so that I am both getting more productive, so that I'm getting more output for every hour I put in, as well as it frees up my time to do other things. So if you like this video, give it a quick thumbs up, subscribe to the channel,